Hello to all class 12th students, and class 12th we'll be starting with lesson number 9, and the lesson number 9 is forms of market. Right, under this we are going to read the definition of market. We are going to learn about the definition of market, what exactly it is, and then we are going to read different types of market and their features. So under this there are four kinds of market we will be doing. With features will be doing four markets: perfect competition, a perfect market, monopoly, monopolistic, and oligopoly, right? So we'll be learning the features. So let's start with lesson number 9. The first of all, we'll understand the meaning of market. So what is market? What is market? So basically market is a place, it's an arrangement, it is a place where the buyers and sellers, they come in contact with each other, and they strike upon a deal at a particular price and a particular commodity which will be bought and will be sold, right? So what exactly market is? So you, for your exams, you're basically going to just learn what exactly market is. So you don't have a particular fixed definition for it. You can write it in a layman language. You can use your own words, right? So market is an arrangement, right, in which buyers and sellers meet, or you can say they come in contact with each other, right? They come in contact with each other, and strike upon a deal at a particular price a particular commodity's quantity to be sold and purchased. So what exactly is happening here? They are saying that market is a network, or it's an arrangement, or it's a place where the seller as well as the buyer, they are coming in contact with each other. They are having a face-to-face conversation. They are meeting each other, and they are deciding upon a deal. They are striking upon a deal, right? And this deal is strike at a particular price and a particular quantity of commodity which will be sold and purchased. So basically, price and quantity of commodity. Here, between these two things, the buyer and the seller, what they bargain and they strike a deal, right? So at what price, what particular quantity of a commodity will be sold as well as purchased. So this is basically a market definition. So let's see, I'll be reading the definition which is given in your book. So in your book, lesson number 9, the definition in black words, the basic meaning is given. It says that a market mechanism or arrangement, it is a sort of arrangement by which buyers and sellers of a commodity are able to contact each other for having economic exchange. When they are saying economic exchange means they will be exchanging money. That means money. They will have economic exchange and are able to strike a deal about the price and the quantity to be bought and sold. So they are going to deal. They are going to have a deal that at what price, what commodity, quantity of a commodity will be sold and purchased. Correct? So this basically is your what? You can say it's a meaning of market. So you can write in your own language also. There is no specific meaning or definition of it given in your book, and it's not necessary that you go for a specific definition. So this is going to be better, a good one. Then now when you talk about forms of market, then actually the lesson is forms of market. So here we are going to read different types of forms of market. Got it? So basically there are the market can be divided into two parts. The first one is your perfect and imperfect, right? Basically you have two types of market. When you start talking about market, you have perfect market or perfect competition, imperfect. So when we start talking about the forms of market, how many types of markets are there? So basically we are going to say that there are two forms of market: perfect competition and imperfect competition, or you can say perfect market or imperfect market. So perfect market or perfect competition do not have any subdivisions, but yeah, imperfect competition have divisions, and these are your monopolistic market, monopoly market, oligopoly market. So there are two types of market: perfect competition and imperfect competition. So in perfect competition you do not have any subdivisions. So basically here you are going to read only perfect market, right? And here imperfect competition, under imperfect competition you are going to read three kinds of market: monopolistic market, monopoly market, and oligopoly market, and monopsony. And what? Monopsony. SONY. Monopsony market. Got it? So in our syllabus we have basically how many kinds of market? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We are going to read about 5 kinds of market in forms of market. In this lesson we are going to read about 5 kinds of market. We are going to do the features of 4 kinds of market. The monopsony market, the last market, monopsony market, we are not going to do the features, because monopsony market, the features, the characteristics of monopsony market are not in syllabus. So basically altogether in detail we are going to read about only 4 markets, that is perfect market or perfect competition, monopoly market, monopolistic, and oligopoly in detail, and monopsony only meaning we are going to do it, because in monopsony we have in our syllabus we have only what? We have only the meaning of monopsony, right? So this is how it goes. So the lesson is lesson number 9, and the name of the lesson is forms of market, right? So altogether how many types of market we are going to read? If you just say that how many types of market we are going to read, so we are going to read 5 types of market, right? And out of these 5 we are going to do the features of only 4 market, and the 5th kind of market, the only meaning is there in the syllabus. You are not supposed to read or learn the features of monopsony market, right? So I'll just explain you the features of 5th market also, but there is no need to prepare it for exams. So when we talk about forms of market, so kinds of forms of market में classification of market के बारे में बात करें तो classification we're going to read perfect market, monopolistic market, monopoly market, oligopoly, and monopsony. Right? So these are. So in this chapter we are going to read 3 kinds of market, and out of these 3 we are going to read these 4 in detail. These 4 market will be read in detail, and monopsony market only meaning is in syllabus. So here in monopsony market we are not going to read monopsony market in detail, only meaning we are going to do. Got it? So we'll be starting with the first market. We'll be doing perfect competition, or you can say perfect market also. So we'll be starting with perfect market and its features. Got it? So let's start with perfect market. See, in your book you have 6 to 7 features of each kind of market, and in the notes I have given you around 5 to 6 features of each kind of market. In some kind of markets, that is in oligopoly or in monopolistic competition, you have even 9 features there, but I have given you only 5 features in notes, so that the notes so that you don't have to write much of the notes. But as far as the board exams are concerned, in your board exams you are going to read all the features, right? If the 9 features are there, you're going to learn or understand all 9 features, though in the notebook you're going to write only up to 5 features. So the first kind of market we're going to start with is perfect market, right? This is perfect market, or you can also call it perfect competition, or you can also call it perfect competition, right? So we're going to start with the features. The first feature of perfect competition is large numbers of buyers and sellers, right? So the first feature of perfect market is large number of buyers and sellers. So when we say this, there are large number of buyers and sellers in a perfect competition, what do we mean? So in this kind of a market, in a perfect competition, the number of buyers is also very large and numbers of sellers is also very large, right? Now the number of buyers is so much, or so many buyers are there, that even if a single buyer do not demand a particular commodity, his demand does not affect the market, right? Or there are so many sellers that even if a single seller do not supply a commodity, right? If there are, like you can say, there are so many sellers of biscuit in the market, even if one seller of the market do not supply biscuit in the market, so this is not going to influence the supply in the market, right? So इतने ज़्यादा बायर्स हैं और इतने ज़्यादा सेलर्स हैं कि कोई एक बायर अगर डिमांड नहीं करता है तो उसकी डिमांड से कोई भी मार्केट में ना, उसकी डिमांड न करने से मार्केट में कोई असर नहीं पड़ता है. सेम वे इतने सारे सेलर्स हैं, इतने सारे प्रोड्यूसर्स हैं कि अगर कोई एक प्रोड्यूसर अपनी सप्लाई बंद कर देता है, कोई 2 प्रोड्यूसर 10 प्रोड्यूसर अपनी सप्लाई बंद कर देते हैं, तो मार्केट में सप्लाई पे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. क्या आप ये कह सकते हो कि बायर की डिमांड कम कर देने से, कुछ ही बायर की डिमांड कम कर देने से या कुछ ही सेलर्स की डिमांड कम कर देने से आपकी मार्केट की डिमांड में ना ही फर्क पड़ेगा, ना ही सप्लाई में फर्क पड़ेगा, जिसकी वजह से प्राइस में भी कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. सो what exactly I mean is this, that the number of buyers and sellers is so large in perfect competition that even if few buyers do not demand or few sellers do not supply, their supply or their demand is not going to affect the market, and so the price will also not get affected, right? Because there are so many buyers and sellers that a single buyer or a few buyers are only a very little proportion of the whole market. So here we can say that if few buyers do not buy or demand, same way if few sellers do not supply or produce, the market price will not be influenced, or the market supply or market demand will not get influenced. Got it? So what do they say? They say that this means that under perfect competition, a firm produces such a small proportion. एक सिंगल फर्म के बारे में बात करें, एक सिंगल प्रोड्यूसर के बारे में बात करें, तो वो इतना कम प्रोड्यूस कर रहे होते हैं, इतने सारे प्रोड्यूसर्स में वो एक प्रोड्यूसर इतना कम प्रोड्यूस कर रहा होता है कि उसके प्रोडक्शन करने ना करने से कोई बहुत ज़्यादा फर्क मार्केट में नहीं पड़ता है, जिस वजह से कोई एक सिंगल बायर या एक सिंगल सेलर क्या करेगा, आपके मार्केट के प्राइस को इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं कर सकता, सप्लाई बढ़ा के या सप्लाई घटा के या सप्लाई बंद करके या डिमांड बंद करके. गॉट इट? सो हियर वी कैन से दैट it means that under perfect competition cannot influence market prices. So a firm or a producer cannot influence the prices. तो एक कोई सिंगल फर्म या सिंगल प्रोड्यूसर या कोई एक बायर सप्लाई करके या ना करके क्या कर सकता है, आपकी प्राइस को इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं कर सकता है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे इतने बायर्स और इतने सेलर्स है कि किसी एक दो के डिमांड करने न करने से, प्रोडक्शन करने न करने से कोई फर्क प्राइस पे नहीं पड़ता है. Therefore a firm is therefore a price taker rather than a price maker. So a firm is a price taker rather than a price maker. करेक्ट. सो यहाँ पे क्या है, यहाँ पे जो प्रोड्यूसर्स है या जो फर्म्स है वो प्राइस टेकर है. वो प्राइस टेक करती है जो उनको मिल जाता है मार्केट से. वो प्राइस मेक नहीं कर सकती है. मेक इसलिए नहीं कर सकती हैं क्योंकि फर्म में इस मार्केट में इतने सारे फर्म्स हैं या इतने सारे सेलर्स हैं कि कोई एक प्रोड्यूस करे ना करे प्राइस में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. ठीक है, ये तो हुई सेलर की बात. ठीक है, तो इस तरह से बायर का भी ले सकते हैं कि एक बायर डिमांड करने या ना करने से प्राइस को इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं कर सकता है. तो दिस इज द फर्स्ट फीचर ऑफ योर परफेक्ट कॉम्पिटिशन. द सेकंड फीचर इज होमोजेनियस प्रोडक्ट. सेकंड फीचर इज होमोजेनियस product. Right? When we say homogeneous, what do we mean? Homogeneous means identical products. Identical products. Right? Homogeneous means identical products, yeah, same to same products. So the second feature of the perfect competition is this, that in this kind of market, all the firms, all the sellers, all the producers are producing same kinds of commodity or same kinds of goods. The product of one firm is perfect substitute of another. The product of one firm is perfect substitute of another. राइट. यहाँ पे एक फर्म दूसरे फर्म के जैसा ही प्रोडक्ट बना रही है, होमोजेनियस प्रोडक्ट बना रही है. तो अगर एक फर्म का प्रोडक्ट आपको नहीं मिल पा रहा है तो आप दूसरी फर्म का प्रोडक्ट इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो क्योंकि वो सारे के सारे क्या है, सेम टू सेम है, आइडेंटिकल है. तो एक फर्म का प्रोडक्ट आपकी जो नीड सेटिस्फाई करेगा, दूसरी फर्म का प्रोडक्ट भी आपकी वही नीड को सेटिस्फाई करेगा. सो यहाँ पे होमोजेनियस प्रोडक्ट्स क्या होते हैं, बनते हैं. राइट. ठीक है. अब क्या है, होमोजेनियस प्रोडक्ट जो बनते हैं तो होमोजेनिटी क्या है प्रोडक्ट की, एक तो फिजिकल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है और एक एनवायरमेंटल फैक्टर्स है. ठीक है. अब व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द होमोजेनिटी, तो दो तरह के फीचर्स होते हैं होमोजेनिटी के बारे में भी. एक तो फिजिकल कैरेक्टर्स होते हैं, दूसरा एनवायरमेंटल. राइट. सो व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट होमोजेनिटी, जब हम बोल रहे हैं कि सारे के सारे प्रोडक्ट सेम बन रहे हैं, तो वो जो सारे के प्रोडक्ट सेम बन रहे हैं तो सेम किस बेस पे बन रहे हैं, एक तो फिजिकल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स उनकी सेम है, दूसरा एनवायरमेंटल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स उनकी सेम है. व्हेन वी से फिजिकल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स में क्या आता है, आपका कलर, साइज, डिजाइन, ये सब चीजें आती है. आपका कलर आ सकता है, इसमें साइज आ सकता है, डिजाइन आ सकता है, पैकेजिंग आ सकती है, केमिकल प्रोपोर्शंस आ सकते हैं. तो फिजिकल मतलब दिखने में, भालने में, साइज में वो क्या है, सेम है. एक तो इस बात में वो सेम है. और एनवायरमेंटल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स में क्या है, एनवायरमेंटल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स में मतलब है कि लोकेशन क्या है प्रोडक्ट के बनने की, ऑफिस कैसा है ना, जहाँ पे आप बेच रहे हो, एम्बियंस कैसा है उस चीज का. इसके बाद क्रेडिट फैसिलिटी क्या है, क्रेडिट फैसिलिटी क्या है, तो इस बेस पे भी वो क्या है, सेम है. तो ऑल टुगेदर जो कहने का मतलब है वो ये है कि होमोजेनियस प्रोडक्ट होते हैं इस तरह के मार्केट में. इन दिस काइंड ऑफ मार्केट यू गेट होमोजेनियस प्रोडक्ट एंड द होमोजेनिटी इज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ टू थिंग्स. First is the physical characteristics. As far as the physical characteristics are concerned, all the products are same in color, size, designs, right, chemical proportion, etc. And the environmental characteristics are also same. Environmental characteristics में आपकी आती है कि लोकेशन क्या है आपकी ऑफिस की या फैक्ट्री की, या आपकी क्रेडिट फैसिलिटी, हाउ व्हाट सॉर्ट ऑफ क्रेडिट फैसिलिटीज यू आर गिविंग. राइट. तो इस सब चीजों में भी क्या है, वो सेम है. ठीक है. राइट. अ कस्टमर, they are saying that a customer will be prepared to pay more for the product sold in more luxurious surroundings. अब क्या है कि when you talk about a customer, तो कस्टमर क्या करता है, कस्टमर अलग अलग तरीके के होते हैं. जो रिच कस्टमर्स होते हैं वो क्या करते हैं, आपको ज्यादा पैसा देते हैं और अच्छे शोरूम्स में जाते हैं, लग्जरियस शोरूम्स में जाके वो ज्यादा पैसे देने को तैयार हो जाते हैं. और जो थोड़ा पुअर कैटेगरी का कस्टमर होगा उसको लग्जरी से कोई भी जो पुअर कैटेगरी का कस्टमर होगा वो आपका कोई बहुत लग्जरियस जगह में या बड़े से शोरूम में जाके परचेज नहीं करेगा. तो इस केस में यहाँ पे ऐसा लग्जरी या अच्छी सराउंडिंग्स या बेकार सराउंडिंग्स या बड़ा शोरूम या छोटा शोरूम या छोटी सी दुकान, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है इस केस में। यहाँ पे इस तरह के मार्केट में आपके एनवायरमेंटल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स भी सेम है एंड फिजिकल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स भी सेम है। तो ऑल टुगेदर द बॉटम लाइन इज दिस, दैट इन दिस काइंड ऑफ मार्केट the product are going to be same, and because of this reason only they are going to be the perfect substitute. This is the key word, they are going to be the perfect substitute of each other. ठीक है, मतलब ये है कि कस्टमर को अगर एक चीज नहीं मिल रही है मार्केट में तो दूसरी चीज तुरंत ले लेगा, क्योंकि सारे के सारे प्रोडक्ट्स क्या है, सेम टू सेम है। ठीक है, सो द बायर हैज नो रीजन टू एक्सप्रेस हिज प्रेफरेंस फॉर द प्रोडक्ट। तो यहाँ पे क्या है, बायर के पास कोई भी प्रेफरेंस नहीं है कि मुझे वो उस कंपनी का वो प्रोडक्ट अच्छा लगता है या उस कंपनी का मुझे ये प्रोडक्ट अच्छा लगता है। कोई प्रेफरेंस का यहाँ पे केस नहीं है, कोई पर्टिकुलर लाइकिंग किसी प्रोडक्ट के लिए नहीं है, बिकॉज ऑल द प्रोडक्ट्स आर सेम। Got it? So this is your second characteristics, and I believe that the 2 characteristics we have done, and rest of the 2 or 3 characteristics we will be doing in the next video. This is going to be enough for today, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Till then, take care of yourself.